Hey everybody, I'm Leilani Collier, your host for A Perspective. Today we have Responsia, we have Steve, Hilton, Lisa for today's episode. Okay, the question for today would be, have you ever researched the person that you are with now, Googled them, looked for their credit score, looked on Facebook, looked on any type of social media about the person that you're dating? Be honest, tell the truth. You over here laughing. What's up? Tell it. Give it to us. Give it to us.
I did look up some stuff.
And you're married, right?
I am.
Did you look up your husband?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I didn't find anything, obviously, but
did you have a hint or something? Something made you feel like, hey, I need to look up this guy, see who he is?
Well, there were some things that he told me early on about his past, and I was just wondering if he was leaving off some details. So I wanted to know. So I
what'd you find out, girl?
I didn't find out anything actually. So I mean that was good, but I wanted to.
Did you find out anything that he hadn't told you though?
No.
It could be positive.
No, actually, he's been very open and straightforward. So it was refreshing to not find any skeletons fall out of the closet. Not to say that they're not there.
Right.
I just didn't find them.
What about you?
I haven't personally Googled anyone, but I've been Googled, researched.
You've been married how long?
20 years. I've been in the same
Google went out then.
Yeah. But I know people that looked people up and found out some really, really interesting things about that person.
Like one of your boys?
Yeah, one of my boys. He was into this girl and he Googled her. Mm-hmm. And I woke up the next morning, I had missed calls like in the middle of the night. And I called him the next morning like, yo, you got to put this name in Google. And when I did, I saw a lot of red flags. Things that had he not Googled, he wouldn't have known. He probably would have moved forward and it probably would have been a bad idea.
So, can I ask what kind of thing?
Yeah, like a prior arrest, several.
Oh, God.
Yeah, several arrests, prison time.
And she never told him any of that?
Nah.
But how long were they dating?
They were just in the talking stage, the beginning stages.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was able to kind of cut that out before it went too far.
But did he ever tell her why he stopped talking to her?
He didn't.
He didn't?
No,
he just stopped answering phone calls?
Just stopped answering phone calls, stopped responding to texts.
That's how y'all do it. What about you guys?
I research everybody. And the reason that I do is because I have a son. So it's like I need to know who I'm bringing into my son's life. Mm-hmm. So I have to absolutely, I'll tell you, I'm going to research you. And I know some people that's going to pull up your dark, deep secrets. So if you have anything that you need to tell me, go on and put it on the table right now. Mm-hmm. So I can make the decision whether I want to deal with you or not, because my kid always comes first. So.
Now, if they ever Googled you, would they find something?
Lord have mercy. Let's stick to the question. Yes, of course. I mean, it's like, I'm almost 40, so I've done some things, and I'm not ashamed of any of it.
Okay, so tell us.
What you did? What you want to know?
Anything. Tell us.
Me.
Oh, anybody got a phone?
We got no service.
I'd like to say that everybody has a past.
Yes.
Right, absolutely.
And so you can't enter any relationship and think that there's no history there.
But I think the point is you being open with that person and not trying to hide something from them. It's different if I say, hey, I did this X, Y, and Z or whatever, and I'm upfront about it. But if I just, not say anything about it, then it's a different story.
But I get that. But like in the case that Hilton just described, so if you just meet somebody and you tell them you did prison time, they're going to run for the hills, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes in your youth, you do things that you're not so proud of. Maybe you didn't know better. Maybe you did, but you've changed. And so this person may have.
But that would be good for both of them, though, right? Because if he already has, you tell him something about yourself, right? And then he already has in his mind, oh, well, I'm not going to date her anymore or whatever. And not really know the type of person that you are. It could have happened, like you said, when you were 14 or 15 years old. But if they don't give you the opportunity to say, okay, well, this happened when I was younger, then
I mean, I absolutely agree, but I think when you first meet someone, they're not going to give you their life history.
You're right.
In the beginning.
I'm completely open. In the beginning, I will tell you everything.
But you're rare. You're rare. Most people
it's on
are
a need to know basis.
Right. Most people are going to want to see
nobody.
Somebody.
You never research any of the women you date.
Actually, I already always knew people. Like, say in Atlanta, I always knew people on every side of town. So anytime if I'm talking to somebody, information always come to me anyway.
Somebody knew somebody.
It's always a connection. It's a small world.
But do you ask around?
I don't ask around. It's gonna come. It's gonna come to the light if it's something going on.
So if you were dating somebody for a few months and then all of a sudden something came up, and would you still continue to date that person, or would you say, well,
it just depends on what it is. I'm gonna find out, and we're gonna have a conversation, or maybe not have a conversation.
But when you want to know up front, though,
not necessarily. I don't have to know everything up front. I want to, because you don't have to tell me anything up front. I got to find out the type of person you are, not the type of person that you tell me you are.
Applaud him for that. Honestly, because people change, and that's the things, and so we can be judge and jury at the same time, and so you never find out whether that person has changed because you never give them the opportunity. And sometimes they may conceal things, not because they're really wanting to conceal. It's just they want to make sure that or a likelihood that you may stick by them when they reveal this information. Mm-hmm. And so if I meet you on day one and I say, oh yeah, by the way, I robbed a bank when I was 20, you're probably going to run. But if we've been dating 2 or 3 months and you see I'm a stand-up person, and I say, hey, I got something I really want to sit down and tell you. I see this is getting a little serious. You're not going to tell everybody you meet your deepest, darkest secrets. Now, somebody you care for, you may say, hey, I'm going to reveal this before he finds out or before she finds out. That's never going to be on day 1 or day 2 or week 1 or week 2. It's going to be after you've developed some feelings for this person and you realize if they find out, the relationship may be in jeopardy. And so I applaud him because he said he would have the conversation as opposed to his friend just like, oh, I'm out, And because there may have been a very compelling story behind that history, and you would never know.
Well, and then the person that other person could have dodged a bullet from your boy because, knowing that person wasn't a good communicator in the first place, they could have been like, I didn't want him anyway because he didn't even get the chance to know me, to see who I was and ask me, why X, Y, and Z or whatever. I
think that's what made it so easy though, because he had nothing invested in it at that point. Mm-hmm. They hadn't had sex, it wasn't, they were just in beginning.
How that's what he told you?
Yeah, that's what he told me. No, he would have told me. He would have told me.
So you think all your boys tell you every time they hit something?
Yeah.
What
kind of for the most part, for the most part, man, guys talk. Just like y'all women talk. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talk too. So I'm sure he would tell me like, man, I already been with her though, man. It's too late now, And then too, like Steve said, it depends on what it was. We can have that conversation, but certain things may be just a deal breaker. You talking about you robbed the bank, like shit, baby got some money stashed. Right. What's going on? But she might tell you, my last boyfriend, he was abusive, so I shot him like,
Right. So that means you better not be abusive. That's all.
That just means I just need to move on.
And here's the other thing too.
What if he wasn't abusive though?
With the technology that has come, there are a lot of folks that have been wrongfully convicted of things.
Right
so if you don't even have the conversation, you have no clue. Yeah. Whether it was something railroaded, they were forced into a confession. You just don't know the story. So,
that's true.
We got to communicate better with each other.
We all got skeletons.
I guess for me, with a name like Responsia, is like, it's me. It's like, I got
you the only one, boo.
I have a cousin named Responsia. And she have a real.
Is she older or young?
And she did some things. So sometimes.
So you was named after her.
Yeah, her name comes up.
So you followed in her footsteps.
Set it off.
No, I created a whole different. It was still wild. It's just that, but with a name like Responsia, I have to be honest because when you pull me up, it's me. And it's like, that's me,
I'm gonna pull you up later.
But don't be disappointed.
Oh, you said it's some good stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Well, that concludes our episode. I really appreciate y'all giving us your time and
anytime.
Yeah,
and keeping it real, keeping it 100. And thanks for sharing about your friend.
no problem.
Y'all can follow us on social media at A Perspective. Thanks for joining us today. And we look forward to you again on the next episode. So y'all come back.
This episode.